Mothers truly give the best advice. Always trust your instincts. They are your best guide. Don't rely on a partner for money. No one is coming to save you. And the golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated. And we have some more unsolicited advice coming soon. New Day Northwest starts right now.
It's a new day.
Now, from the Virginia Mason Franciscan Health Studio at King 5 in downtown Seattle, this is New Day Northwest.
Welcome to New Day Northwest. I'm your host, Kelly Hansen. We're halfway through the week, and there's no better way to start the hour here than with a round of Hot Topics. New Day Hot Topics is brought to you by Silver Reef Casino. On today's panel, thank you, is comedian and cookbook author Gus Constantellis, King 5 Mornings anchor Jake Wittenberg, and New Day senior producer Alexis. Hello, everyone.
Hey. Hello.
Welcome to a spicy round of Hot Topics. There's food in front of us, as you can see. We all like coffee, I hope.
That was the selling point for me to be here, actually.
It should. This Monday, the official launch of scheduled ordering at Starbucks locations nationwide is happening, so you can now order your coffee up to an hour in advance, like at 4 a.m., and you choose a 5-minute window pickup time. We have a few new menu items at Starbucks. A tropical butterfly refresher. Yum. Oh, yes. Chase this, you guys. Passion fruit, guava with mango, pineapple flavored pearls, butterfly pea flower makes it purple, okay? And then returning items, iced horchata shaken espresso. It can also be a frappuccino, say less, and a unicorn cake pop.
Wow.
What do we think of all these? I'm gonna dive in.
So this is actually really good, but I can see like the kids loving this because it's like a lemonade-y, the popping boba, the color, the flavors. It's good.
Anything with boba.
Oh, I know my 14-year-old daughter would love this because she's obsessed with boba, which is, I'm assuming, why they're doing this drink, because they're kind of appealing to the younger audience.
Well, they have
those.
those. You can get it with like coconut milk, or you can get it with energy drink, so it can be different caffeine levels.
Is there a protein version?
I know,
Protein foam, get it all in. Oh my goodness.
Does it come with a straw? Because that's how it's kind of like the boba cannon, right? You like to suck up the boba. Okay.
Oh, thank goodness, because that would have been a real miss if they didn't have that. Jake, are you excited because you wake up so early? How early do you wake up for the morning show?
Well, shout out to my Starbucks at 24-hour Starbucks in Rose Hill in Kirkland. No need for a mobile order there because I'm usually the only one in line at 3 in the morning. But I could see how the pre-order thing works, because the reason I don't do mobile is because I'm still ordering by the time we get into the parking lot, and it's like, I'm here, I might as well just order.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I don't jive very well with mobile. I have to do it in person.
I agree. What about you, Gus?
I love a mobile. I live in New York, though, so it's very efficient. Like, if you got somewhere to be and you can just pick up on the way, it's very efficient. And I do love efficiency more than anything.
That makes sense in New York. If I was a New York girly, I think I would do that. I would have my bagel. I would walk around.
Especially when I was like a corporate girlie working in Midtown, and I had to like pick up lunch. Mobile ordering saved my life.
Oh, absolutely.
Devil Wears Prada would never have happened if it wasn't for mobile ordering. I'm telling you right now. Yeah.
Andy running through the street.
Yeah, she just needed a mobile order for those 15 skirts.
Everything's fine. Also new this week, you guys, so exciting to celebrate its 20th anniversary. Spotify just released what's being called the Party of the Year, which shows you the first song that you ever listened to on your Spotify, your most listened to artist, and gives you a playlist of your top 120 songs of all time. It's like a mid-year mini Spotify Wrapped. Most streamed artist on Spotify, you guessed it, Taylor Swift there. Most streamed album of all time, Bad Bunny.
Let's go.
Ooh, let's go. The most streamed podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, and most streamed audiobook, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I love that novel.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of Taylor Swift at my house, too. Kendrick Lamar is another one. My kids love Kendrick.
I already did this. I did this yesterday,
it's
and
so
let me tell you,
What's your
my
song?
first song, so weird, because I don't even listen to this band, was Every Day is a Waterfall by Coldplay.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I haven't even heard. It's a great song. I don't listen to them like
what
that.
Year?
It was 2011.
Okay.
And then my top artist was Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And that's, I mean, but she has such a huge catalog. I'm sure she's everybody's top artist.
Are you a big Swiftie, would you say?
I am
or
a
were you a
Swiftie,
little
but
surprised?
I don't talk about it with people that aren't Swifties, but I'm a Swiftie.
This is a safe place.
It's a safe place.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, never mind. Then I don't talk about it. Yeah. I only talk about her.
Jake, did you do this yet on Spotify? Are you a Spotify guy?
Yeah, we're more of Apple Music family. I actually don't have Spotify. Am I one of the only few people on earth that don't have
I
that?
was a Spotify and I would listen on YouTube. I was a grandma, you guys. And then everybody peer pressured me and made fun of me, so now I'm Spotify.
Yeah.
But mine is so embarrassing.
Shamed into it.
I started in 2013 and I had a co-host at the time, Andrew Coleman Smith, shout out to him. He was obsessed with Nicki Minaj. So it says my most listened to artist is Nicki Minaj, and it's not.
It was of the time though. Mine is also really embarrassing.
Okay,
it was
then help me
Sean
out.
Dance, and it was 2012.
That's hilarious.
Dance. You know, it's
That's a great song
so
too,
embarrassing,
though.
but you had to look at the
My
year.
full
It was not
playlist,
last
though,
year.
I have to say, of all the songs, is truly iconic. It is banger after banger after banger.
It's all your most listened to
Yes,
songs. in
it's
the playlist.
unhinged.
It's
for
so
sure.
good.
I love the concept because if you get stuck on what do I listen to, just play your soundtrack and it always hits.
Yeah, it does. That was a surprise. A little humbling, but also I also thought all mine were bangers.
Never
for sure.
I
forget
have
where you came
great
from.
taste. Are you kidding me?
Gus, you really do it all too. You have a cookbook out. You're a comedian, and we're going to learn about your cookbook later. But first, tell me about the comedy show that's happening tonight.
I've written this whole new show around the cookbook, and I'm really excited about it. I've been doing stand-up for 12 years now, and so this is the first time I'm doing something that's I'm doing readings of the book on stage, plus stand-up, plus character work, and then a little bit of dancing. So there's a lot going on, but it's really fun, and the show is great, and it's just funny throughout. I'm just having a lot of fun with it because it's also kind of about existentialism. So it's dark, but it's so fun, honestly. I mean, it's just a good time for me.
Can you give us any little tidbits of what a joke could be tonight, like a teaser?
Well,
anything? I know you probably don't want to ruin it.
Well, I don't want to ruin it, but I talk about coming out to my parents, for example, and what that experience was. And I say when I came out to my mom, she said, "You don't cook or clean. How can you be gay?" So just things see, he laughed. We're good.
It's gonna go great.
I can see a Greek mother,
Yeah,
saying
she
that.
did. Yeah. Say that to your kids. See how that goes over in 2026.
So, do you tell the audience that it's about your cookbook, or do you kind of surprise them?
So I do start with the book. It's so it's a surprise, and I introduce them to the world of kind of what I've been doing on the internet and my mom, and then I go kind of right into what the story is.
I love it.
It feels great because it's a story A to B. It's not just stand up. So I'm really challenging people in a way, but I'm having a great time with it.
Stand up is hard.
I
Stand-up
know
is
it's
hard.
going to be so funny. And speaking of comedy, too, I want to talk about late night TV. It's about to change. This week, the late night hosts reunited ahead of Stephen Colbert's final show. Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver paid tribute to the Colbert Report and talked about their bond. Jimmy Fallon has also said his show will go dark the night of Colbert's final last night show. Whoa, that was hard to say. Episode on May 21st. Pretty cool, right? Or do we not like this? I love the support.
I think that was really sweet.
Yeah.
I watched it and they were just all joking together. Clearly they have a little friendship going and it's not all a competition all the time.
True.
And they're supporting him. I don't know. I thought
they're
that
all
was
going
nice.
through a similar part of their lives. I mean, I would imagine that doing those kinds of shows is an all-encompassing experience, in your workplace and in your personal life. So they all probably sharing war stories. I see them as the Avengers. I don't know. I really like those guys. They just all in solidarity. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Gus, what do you think? Would you, if you ever retired or anything, would you hope that maybe some other comedians or anyone would come up, or Greek moms, to send you off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I love it. Comedy is I call it high school in a way. So it's all these people are they all know each other and we're all friendly and we all have rapport.
Yes.
So it's good that things like this happen.
I agree, 100%. And don't worry, you all, these three are sticking around, and so should you. Coming up later in the show is pickle-flavored trends going too far, and Jake shares the behind the scenes of a recent story where he and his co-anchor Mimi Jung were firefighters for a day, and things got intense. Also ahead, we get more of Gus because he's cooking out of his new cookbook for the show. He says he's no chef, but he doesn't need to be since he's cooking with his Greek mom's recipes, and I can't wait to try this fresh salad. And speaking of fresh, Frank's Produce is back with the spring and summer bounty to try from his spot in Pike Place Market.
New Day Northwest is sponsored by Silver Reef Casino, your Northwest Washington destination, just off I-5 at exit 260.
Welcome back. The farmers markets and produce stands are bursting with color and flavor, just begging to be tried. Frank Genzale from Frank's Quality Produce is back with a bounty Hello, Frank. This looks
yeah, how are
beautiful. Oh my gosh, this looks so fresh.
Oh,
vibrant. What is local? I think maybe that's where we should start.
Well, yeah, we're just coming into a great local season. The weather's been really great. Not today, but the weather has been really good. We've been getting beautiful local asparagus in, which is just outstanding right now. So when you go to the store, make sure you're getting that now. The season's going to last another, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks.
And I want to talk to you about like some people, including myself. I'm a little weird with textures.
Yeah.
So the big asparagus kind of scares me cooking. So any tips that you have for if it's thin, thick?
I'm an only thick asparagus
You
type.
are?
Yes, I like to just put it on the grill with a little olive oil, salt and pepper for like 1 minute and eat it that way with a little bit of crunch. That's the way I love it.
I guess it's a time in the summer to get out with your grill and actually cook outside and
Yes,
enjoy
for
that
sure.
while we can.
For sure.
What else is local, my friend?
Well, we got some Walla Walla spring onions coming into season right here, and they're just going to start getting bigger and sweeter and nicer. This is a local variety of young garlic called spring garlic.
I was
and you
wondering,
can
I'm like,
use
that
kind of the
smells.
entire, from the root side all the way up to the leaves, very mild, just chopped up and used like you would normally garlic and sautés and things like that.
So you would cook this too, or
Yep.
it could be fresh, or how does
Yeah,
that
you want
work?
to cook it. You want to just chop it up thin like you would normal garlic. So
Oh,
it just has a
gosh.
more mild flavor to it.
I've never heard of that. That's very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and we've got some local butter lettuce from Dagodi Farms in Sumner, and some beautiful organic spinach there from Ralph's Organic Greenhouses are really nice, and some mushrooms down there, some beautiful morel mushrooms, and those are just coming in the season. The price is still a little high right now, but it's coming down quickly, so people should be seeing
You have
those
a
all over
lot
the
of
stores.
different kinds of mushrooms
Yeah.
down there. Some that I've never seen before. So walk me through these white ones.
Yeah, they're called lion's mane, and those are grown in Gig Harbor. They're actually indoor grown. But yeah, a good grower out there brings us those when they're available. It's not something you would get all year round. Very earthy. You would slice them thin and kind of saute them flat in a pan.
Gosh.
Yeah, those are really good. And then the yellow oyster mushrooms on the end, and of course the morel mushrooms. Again, morels are something special to get when they're available. Yeah.
I love a mushroom. Also local rhubarb, right?
Yeah, we have some rhubarb down here in front. That season's been going pretty strong for a month and a half now, and that's kind of, for me, that's the kickoff to spring when we start seeing local rhubarb. Starts in the hothouses, then moves outdoors, and then it kind of kicks into all these local items.
I want to go to the melons because
Yes.
these look so tasty and fresh, and I get to taste test, which is
Yeah.
always the most fun.
Yeah, these. So we're just coming into the California season of melons, and these are some of the best. I mean, the orange flesh honeydew, the origami cantaloupe here, and of course these beautiful Yumi watermelons. They're the ones with the black skin on them. They're really crisp and sweet, and I think you should try.
I absolutely think I
piece
should
there.
try. How do you find out like what is a good melon to get? Because I'm going to be honest, I like go there and kind of squeeze them and really don't know what I'm doing. So explain.
Well, I think with the cantaloupes and the honeydews and things like that, anything with a thin skin like this, you want the sugar to be coming through the skin, so it's going to get a little sticky, right? And then with the cantaloupe, you just got to smell it. If it has a good flavor,
it.
yeah, you just want to have that aroma from a good cantaloupe. And watermelon, you have to, you kind of tap on them and hear a nice crisp sound to it. Usually, that's a pretty good watermelon.
Okay, so if people are, in the produce aisle tapping watermelon,
Yeah.
don't give them a face. They're actually following Frank's
Or we'll just pick one out
advice.
for you. Either way, we'll get you a good one.
True.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
grapes I have to talk about too. Those are
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah,
What?
these are Jumbo Autumn Crisp.
Yeah,
and
they're
they
jumbo.
I mean, we can't even keep these on the stand. They're just so beautiful. They're crunchy. They're jumbo size. I mean, most of the time when you get something like this, they get kind of soft and they're not the greatest. But these in particular have been unbelievable for.
Okay, well, I feel like I have
a
to
while
try
now.
one of those if you say they're really crispy.
Okay, yeah, well,
because a
let's-
frozen grape too in the summer is like the best. This is
Yes.
huge.
Yeah,
Okay, and I want to also talk about corn, which
Yep.
reminds me of Memorial Day too.
Yeah, Memorial Day is coming up here in a couple weeks, and barbecues are going to be out and about, and so you're going to have a beautiful Yumi watermelon, and then of course some beautiful corn. And we're just starting to get some really nice corn. This is the bi-corn. It's got a little bit of white and the yellow corn mixed in there. I think that's kind of what everybody likes now. It used to be the white corn everybody likes, then it was the yellow, and now it's kind of this variety that gives you a little bit of both.
I'm sorry for anyone that had to listen to me eat that grape, but it was so crisp and delicious,
Yes.
so flavorful, because exactly, I hate a soggy grape,
No one
and that
likes a
was
soggy
so
grape.
good.
Yeah.
How would you cook the corn too? On the grill again? That's kind of how I've seen it
Yeah, a lot of
sometimes.
people do it on the grill. I personally just like it a regular boiled.
You do?
Yeah, just for like a couple minutes in some boiling water and a little bit of butter and a little bit of salt.
Absolutely.
That's how I like it.
The berries are right in front too. Before we leave, I feel like we must talk about what you have there.
Yeah, I don't normally bring berries this time of year. I kind of wait for the local season, but we've had some unbelievably beautiful berries. These blackberries are jumbo, good size, very, very sweet. The strawberries are just, I mean, they're red all the way through. We're getting some varieties out of Eastern Washington. There's a hothouse company that grows indoor strawberries called Honey Gems, and they are just absolutely beautiful. And then the jumbo blueberries over there, the Swedish batch ones, they're crunchy and large, and right now would be a great time to freeze some if you like to have a good berry in the off season. So.
Who doesn't, especially with the 4th of July coming up. Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here.
Thank
so
you.
good and so delicious. And coming up, the Artemis II mission may be complete, but the discoveries aren't. Astronomer Emily Levesque joins us next. Astronomy has a way of reminding us that exploration doesn't end when the engines shut down. Sometimes the most exciting discoveries happen after the mission is over. My next guest is someone who understands that better than most. Astronomer and author Emily Levesque is here to help us unpack the aftermath of the Artemis II expedition. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, it seems like everyone, we're so fascinated, including myself, with the Artemis II mission, tracking it real time. How locked in were you?
Oh, I was definitely watching all the key moments. I was a little kid when the Apollo 13 movie came out. I was obsessed with Apollo from then on, and I felt like I owed it to like my inner 10-year-old to watch us go back to the moon for the first time in my lifetime.
Oh, amazing. It was so cool to watch. What were the goals of this mission? Remind us.
So Artemis II flew around the moon, and we haven't done that in over 50 years since the Apollo missions last flew around it back in 1972. So we were testing the spacecraft, the launch system, all of the systems that work together now to keep astronauts safe in deep space.
And how did the spacecraft perform once it was out there?
It did great. It kept the astronauts safe, which was its job, and that job breaks down into, life support, protecting them from heat and cold. We heard about things like fixing the space toilet, but all of these things are important to keep a crew happy and healthy and working in space.
Yes, and that was funny that it was a topic so much about the space toilet, what they were eating, so many things. But hey, things can go wrong, and it's how you handle it. What did Artemis II show us about deep space that we didn't fully appreciate before?
So we've been to deep space before. We did it 50 years ago with Apollo, but I feel like sometimes when we say that, people say, oh, we did this 50 years ago, why is it interesting? And that's really just a comment on how amazing Apollo was. Today when we go, things are different. All of these astronauts were given an iPhone for the mission. We know that they took pictures with an iPhone. So that means that each of the 4 astronauts had in their pocket more computing power than the entire Apollo program. And that's incredibly exciting, but it also means there's a lot of new things that we need to test to see how they perform in deep space.
I know. What did it really teach us about how humans handle it, would you say?
We've actually gotten really good at keeping track of how humans fare in space. We've had humans working in low Earth orbit for a long time. So the Artemis astronauts had sensors that could track how they were sleeping, the health of their hearts, their cognitive function. And NASA is taking all of that information and figuring out how to make sure that our astronauts in the future aren't just okay, but that they can really thrive and work and make the most of their time in space.
So there's so much information that we're getting well after the mission, with all of this technology now.
Absolutely.
And what kinds of research do you think scientists will be able to do now that simply wasn't possible before?
Well, a lot of our big research findings so far from Artemis are just learning about deep space operations again. We're building a knowledge base so that we can keep working in deep space, so that we can prepare to land on the moon, and so that we just know how to handle a really dangerous and hostile environment, but one that we're clearly starting to get our arms around how to work in.
How do those discoveries really impact the work you do as an astronomer?
It's a good question because Artemis II didn't directly do any astronomy. I did hear that the astronauts got to do some amazing stargazing.
I heard that too.
Looking at the stars, the moon, our own planet. But for astronomy, there's a couple cool things that could happen. First, again, we're learning how to work in deep space. The Artemis II astronauts set a distance record for the farthest humans have traveled from the moon. They were over 250,000 miles from Earth. We have put telescopes, the James Webb Space Telescope, 1 million miles from the moon. So that's 4 times as far as they went. We have a new telescope, the Nancy Grace Roman Telescope, launching later this year that will also be that far away. And we have even bigger plans in the future. So learning how to keep humans safe in deep space gives us lessons that we can then apply to how to keep observatories safe in deep space and how to keep getting as much science out of them as possible. There's also the really cool possibility of maybe someday doing astronomy on the moon. The Apollo program actually did put a little telescope on the moon. It's the kind of telescope that you would imagine in someone's backyard, but it observed ultraviolet light. So this is light that's too blue for our eyes to see. We sometimes hear about ultraviolet light as the stuff that gives us sunburn, but most of it can't make it through Earth's atmosphere. So pointing a telescope on the moon that can capture ultraviolet light, that was the very first telescopes like that we built, was an amazing accomplishment. So it's fun to think about what we could do with this pristine environment with no atmosphere that's so dark. We could potentially do some really exciting observing there.
How, based on what the Artemis II accomplished too, how realistic does the current timeline look for getting humans back on the moon?
That's hard to say, and the timeline right now is that Artemis III will fly sometime in 2027. They'll test all the systems for landing on the moon, orbiting around Earth, and then Artemis IV landing on the moon will follow a year or two later. Now, Apollo certainly worked on a very fast timeline. They first sent humans to the moon in December of 1968, and less than 7 months later, we had Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walking on the moon. So it worked very quickly. It was part of the space race, but race is right there in the name. The pressure was to go to the moon quickly and prove that we could do it safely, but also do it first. And things are a little different now. We know we can go to the moon. And our motive now is to go keep the astronauts safe, learn about working in deep space with the intent that we'll keep doing it for a long time. So any timeline that keeps that in mind and keeps those priorities at the front is a good timeline.
How do you feel with all this enthusiasm? I mean, you can feel your passion and enthusiasm, but now everyone else is excited about this too.
I mean, I love anything that gets people looking up and appreciating space. And one thing that I do want people to remember is that everything that we've just seen NASA do with Artemis II, that's just one of the many amazing things that NASA does. Space is, this sounds like an obvious thing to say, but space is huge and there's so much different work that we can do with it. NASA has sent telescopes out to 1 million miles away from Earth. We've sent probes all over the solar system, flying past Pluto. And my real hope is that when people think about Artemis II and look up at the moon and imagine going there, that they think, wow, that was incredible. We should really keep doing that. And what else can we do? What other possibilities can we now explore now that we're paying so much more attention to space?
Wow. I love chatting to you about this. You have all the information and just your excitement is infectious. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And when we come back, comedian and creator Gus Constantellis keeps the world laughing, one Greek mom impression at a time. And now he's trading punchlines for Greek food thanks to a new cookbook honoring his mom. So stay with us. Lots of fun still to come.
It's a new day.
I'm going to teach you how to make melizzano salata, Greek eggplant dip. First, you have to learn how to say melizzano salata. Melizzano salata. Ho, po, terrible. Grill 2 melizzanes. You can do this over an open flame, but be careful. Last time Tula tried, she burned all her hair off. After the melizzana is grilled, peel the skin off, throw it in the garbage like your ex-boyfriend, and then drain the rest, like this.
Oh my gosh, that's stand-up comedian Gus Constantellis doing one of his now famous Greek mom videos on TikTok. That exaggerated impersonation of his own mother and others he knew went viral. And with all the comedy was the love and the food 3 years after his mom's sudden death. Gus is releasing this cookbook entitled My Greek Mom's Recipes. She died, I wrote this cookbook. I've been so excited to meet this guy. And now, Gus, you are in the kitchen. Hello, hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
That was so funny. The wig and everything. Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen that in so long, honestly, and I was like, wow, that was good.
It was spot on. Is, the title, My Greek's Mom's Recipes, laugh, cry. Tell me about what it's like for you to put this together.
Well, I started writing it 4 days after she died. 4 days. I just started, I had a bunch of recipes and I started making them, and then I started writing these stories and putting it together, and it helped me grieve every day. And so it was just kind of like, I'm going to write this for her grandkids and for me to have her legacy. And now it's become this beautiful book.
Have you always loved being in the kitchen? Like, why food? Because you could have written a memoir.
So I was the youngest boy. I have 2 older brothers, so that meant I was the only girl. And as the gay one, I had to be in the kitchen with my mom. So core memories were in the kitchen with my mom making cookies.
Was she really fun in the kitchen?
No.
No?
She was so mean in the kitchen. Are you kidding me? No, she was so mean in the kitchen.
You would say,
she was like, you're eating my dough, you're eating the green beans, and I'm like, I'm just
trying my best here, Mom. Oh my gosh. We are going to make something that your mom made. Then tell me what we're making. Please don't yell at me.
I'm not gonna. I'm very nice, I promise.
Thank you.
We're making a choriatiki salad. This is like a Greek village salad.
Oh.
And yeah, this is like the thing you see pretty much in like all of the restaurants. And the thing about this salad is that it's meant to share.
Yes.
It's communal. It's meant for the table. You're not supposed to slap grilled chicken on it and call it lunch. So you start.
So it can be chopped big, like
big tomatoes.
Like that.
Yeah. And there's cucumbers. There is onions, and this just reminds me of my mom, because every Sunday we'd have a lamb roast, we'd have lemon potatoes.
Every Sunday,
and we'd have obviously this giant salad.
What are you putting in there?
This is oregano, some olives.
Ooh, I like that too. Nothing is precise with this salad.
No, there's nothing.
Just measure
this
with
is
your
all
heart.
With your eye is what my mom used to say. With your eye.
Measure with your eye.
Me tomati. There's so many recipes she gave me for flour, and for the flour she just said whatever it takes. When it's ready.
For me, that's perfect. Whatever it takes.
She'd be like, you simmer until it's ready. This is how, okay? You smoke a cigarette, you go outside, you smoke another cigarette, and then it's ready. And then
I was watching something with you, and you said, your mom would just, smoke a cigarette, talk to you, kind of rough around the edges. Obviously a sweet woman, though.
A sweet woman, but she talked about death like it was her best friend. She would always say, when I die, you're all going to starve.
My parents are doing that right now, too. I'm like, can we not talk about this? I hate it.
She loves talking. She actually, my favorite line that she said was, death is the only real peace and quiet. That is brutal.
She's not wrong, but that was brutal. Okay, what did you just put on there?
So this is now just a giant slab of feta.
I was going to say, you did not cut this, Gus.
No, it's not cut. So this is, you start like this, it's presented like this, and then you break the feta up.
Okay, and then you just dive in and eat.
You just dive right in.
So your mom was obviously Greek. She never let you forget it. What was it like growing up with her as I taste this?
What was it like growing up with her? It was, first of all, the house was always filled with food, 17 different foods at the same time.
Yum.
She was always screaming and yelling on the phone, always cleaning. She was a ferocious lady in the best way possible.
Did making all of these videos about your mom and kind of putting it out there, it entertained so many of us, but it did make you kind of understand your mom a little more?
So she didn't speak any English, my mom. She was in America for 40 years and didn't speak any English.
Wow.
Yeah, so the only thing she knew how to say were hello, how are you, and something else.
Something maybe we can't say?
Something else.
Okay, got it.
And so literally food was the way that she communicated with people, especially my friends who were mostly American. They would come over and they would eat all her food and they loved it, and she would be like, these people eat like they've never seen food before.
Because we haven't seen anything like this. Is so good, by the way. The salad is so fresh, the oregano, everything you can taste.
I'm gonna roll some dolmades for you too, if you'd like.
It continues. We're gonna keep teaching
here.
Okay,
so dolmades are fun. These are the grape leaves.
Oh yeah.
There's ground beef in here. There
I like that.
is
That's good.
rice. There's parsley, and there is.
What's the trick to this?
Salt and pepper.
This could go awry.
The trick
for me.
to this. Okay, so you tuck these edges in, and really get in there. Okay.
Nice and tight.
Kind of like a pre-roll.
Can I find these grape leaves just like at the store and stuff?
So
like,
you can find canned grape leaves at the store, just like this.
Oh,
and they
that's
don't
what
have to
they
be
look like.
stuffed, and they just come like that. And then tuck these edges in, and really, really kind of be careful with the tuck, and then
It's almost like a mini burrito, which
it is.
I'm
It is like a mini
terrible at
burrito.
that too. So
and then.
okay, not too
There you
much
go.
on the
See,
filling.
this is
That
terrible.
looks
This
are
is
you
what my
kidding?
mom would say. This is terrible. We throw this one in the trash. But you see,
would
it's not
hate
too
me.
complicated. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so-
don't do too much filling there. That
Yeah.
might be a little too
You
much.
think too much?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
gosh,
a little
we're
too
off
much.
to a bad start,
No,
Gus.
you're off to a great start.
Okay, so-
you're actually already Greek now. We're gonna
Tuck.
baptize you. I'm gonna be
Please.
your godfather.
So oh my gosh, I would love that so much.
I'm gonna be your nunna.
Adopt me. I really, really want to visit like Greece more than anything
Have
in
you
the
not
world.
been?
No, I've never been.
Oh
Where
my
should
God.
I go?
Do you need my itinerary?
Yes.
Oh my God. So I would go to
I have a
Naxos.
new boyfriend. We want to go there.
Oh my
this
God.
summer.
Okay, so literally, I'll send you my whole itinerary.
Please.
You should do Naxos. You should do Crete. You should do Athens. You should do, oh my God, so wait, with your boyfriend,
Yeah.
don't do Milos, because people that go to Milos, there's a legend that if you go there with a boyfriend before you get married, you will break up. So do not go to Milos. And actually, I went there with a boyfriend,
No.
and we're not together anymore.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Oh my
I am not
gosh.
kidding. So, all that said, you did a great job.
Thank you.
That's
I'm really
wonderful,
proud of
by the way.
myself.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
wonderful. Great job.
What
See,
else did you
I told
bring
you,
here
she's
too?
Greek now.
I'm Greek. What is this? This dip looks
That
amazing.
is tzatziki. So yeah.
Oh, yum.
So with these, by the way, we're gonna plop them in here when we're done. We plop them in here, line them all up. This should be lined with grape leaves. You're gonna put water, lemon juice, and olive oil, and let it simmer for about an hour, and that's when they're ready.
Okay, and before we leave, I must know if your mom could give advice to anyone listening and you just in your continued life, what do you think it would be?
Oh my God, the best advice my mom ever gave me was eat more fruit. I know, is that so random?
I don't
no,
eat any
actually,
fruit. No.
She gave me great advice with my ex, which was when we were about to break up, she said, if you're drowning, you have to come up for air. And I loved that advice. And it's great advice for life. If you're ever drowning in any kind of aspect in your life, you gotta come up for air.
Gus, I just absolutely adore you. This was a blast. Thank you so much for not yelling at me. But honestly, if you did,
Well, you did a great job, so
Thank
how
you.
could I possibly yell at you?
there you go. And Gus will be at Laughs Comedy Club tonight at 7 talking about his mom and his new cookbook. We are not letting him go, though. One more round of Hot Topics with Gus and Jake a bit later in the show.
It's time for the Home Plate Report, sponsored by Pemco Insurance, helping the Pacific Northwest worry less and live more.
The Mariners dominated the Astros yesterday in a 10-2 win in Houston. That's 6 wins in a row against the Astros this season and 9 in a row dating back to last year. Michaela Gormley, aka your stadium bestie, joins me for this week's Home Plate Report. I love that. Hello.
Oh, I love it.
Stadium bestie.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back.
We're so happy to have you. How are you feeling about the series against the Astros?
I love beating the Astros. There's
So
nobody
do
we like to
I.
beat more than that. And it's been a nice way to hopefully finish up the road trip because the team's been a little hot and cold, and they've been hot these last couple games. So it's fun.
It's so fun to watch when
Yeah.
they are. And it's nice to see Cal Raleigh break out of his hitting slump.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
been big news.
Yes.
What can you tell me about this thing that a pitcher, Logan Gilbert, told him to do? Is this real?
Yes, so Logan Gilbert told him to take a shower in his full uniform to wash off the slump.
Stop.
And it worked. It's only crazy if it doesn't work, right? It's like, okay, well, I wish there was video. That's so funny.
This reminds me of like Barkley when he was talking about this on his show too. He
Yes.
was like, I went in and would shower with my like full uniform on, and we're like, no, you didn't do that. But he's like, I did.
Yeah,
I did
it's
do
a thing.
it.
You got to wash off the slump.
Hey.
And it worked. He was 0 for 38, and then he got 2 hits last night. So
Whatever works.
Whatever
it's only
works, we'll
weird
do
if it doesn't work.
Exactly.
Bryce Miller is also returning to the mound
Yes.
today after 7 weeks on the injured list. What will you
Yes.
be looking for from Miller?
I just want a solid outing from him. You know, I don't need anything crazy. I don't need him to have a no-hitter or anything like that. But I do just want a solid game, kind of let him get back into it and see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off the injured list is always tough. So you just want a win if you can and nothing too crazy to happen.
Exactly.
Manager Dan Wilson also announced the team will try out a 6-man rotation.
Yes.
this is what it's going to look like, at least for now.
Yeah.
What do you think about this move with the 6-man rotation?
You know, I like it for now. I think it gives Bryce Miller an opportunity to get back into things. And it's an embarrassment of riches, kind of, right? Emerson Hancock had stepped in with Bryce Miller being out, and he's been so good that they just can't send him back down. So it's a good problem to have. I don't envy Dan Wilson trying to figure out what to do for the rest of the season going forward. But for now, as a fan, I'm happy about it.
I'm happy too, and you know, I don't envy anyone coming up to bat against those pitchers.
Absolutely
too.
not.
So there's that. Let's look too at the standings, the AL West.
Okay,
the Mariners
let's talk
are
about
now
it.
just 1 game behind the A's, followed by Texas, Houston, and the Angels. What stands out to you here when you look at this?
What stands out to me is that if we win again today against the Astros, we're back at 500. If we win tomorrow, we come home above 500 for a homestand. I love the momentum. I love the energy. And I love being in the AL West because it's not been a super strong division this year. So it gives us a good opportunity to go out there and win.
I like everything you're saying. And let's look at the team leaders next.
Ooh.
Randy leads in the batting average and on-base percentage and hits. And Luke Raley leads in home runs and RBIs. Are there any surprises when you're looking at this list here with our team leaders?
Yeah, not necessarily surprises, but one person that I'm looking for to show up on this list is Brendan Donovan. He was so good at the beginning
Thank you.
of Exactly. He was so good at the beginning of the season, got hurt. So I think he's back now, and so I think he'll be back on that team leader list. He's been gone, so he hasn't had the opportunity.
I know, I was so excited with the way that he started the season, and I think everybody was. He was
Absolutely.
a fan favorite right away. Not saying that he's still not right now, but we need him back and to carry on that momentum.
Very happy to have him back.
Let's look at what's on deck for the Mariners too this week. The M's finish out their 13-game stretch with a homestand against the Padres and the White Sox. What do we need to know about these two teams? Because we played them pretty recently.
Yeah, so of course we just played the White Sox. We did lose that series, but like I said, we've got good momentum. We just saw them, and with having Brendan Donovan back, I love that. I love a little good energy going into it. And the Padres are first in their division, but we tend to play up to good teams, right? We handed the Braves their first series loss.
True.
I like it. I like coming home. I like playing them at home. It gives us that good advantage. The team is excited. The fans are excited. What's not to love?
Absolutely. And we're moving to more excitement. The giveaways, which I love talking about.
Everybody's favorite.
Oh my gosh. We're talking about Friday's giveaway first, which is a Hello Kitty clear crossbody bag night.
Oh my gosh.
We have it right here. Obsessed.
I love it. I mean, it matches my outfit perfectly. Like, I'm just gonna, if this disappears, it wasn't me. I love it. People go crazy for this. They have multiple Hello Kitty nights happening. I'm so excited for this one.
Oh, absolutely. This is gonna, and everyone needs a clear bag situation because you need this going into the game.
Bag going into the stadium.
Hello Kitty is dressed in her Mariners fit. This is adorable. I need. It looks expensive. The Mariners, I've been saying it all season long, they are crushing it with the giveaways this season.
Absolutely love this one.
Saturday giveaway is the military cap giveaway, this nice olive green. Thoughts?
Yeah. I like it. I like the dad hat style, right? I think that's what we're still calling it. And I actually seen it in person. It's nicer quality than I would have anticipated. I like it.
It's very cute. This is a neutral. This will match with a lot of stuff. So
Exactly.
Obsessed.
So
Michaela,
excited.
as always, thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure.
Yes, and go Mariners.
Go Mariners.
And here's something to know. Pemco Insurance and Cal Raleigh are inviting families across the Northwest to take part in the Get Caught Reading Challenge, celebrating kids who are building confidence and imagination through reading. Take a look at this photo from the first winner of the Get Caught Reading Challenge. Families across the Northwest are already sharing moments of their kids getting caught reading at home, outside, and everywhere in between. Parents and guardians can submit a photo of their child reading for a chance to win prizes, including items signed by Cal Raleigh himself. Visit pemco.com/caughtreading or scan the code on the screen to learn more and to enter. And coming up next, another round of Hot Topics. Have you had enough of the pickle trend? Just wait until you see what's out there now. Plus, a look behind the scenes at a King 5 story to learn about life on the front lines of being a firefighter.
New Day Northwest is sponsored by Pemco Insurance. New Day Northwest is sponsored by Silver Reef Casino.
It's a new day.
Silver Reef Casino invites you to let your luck blossom every Friday in May. Starting at 7 p.m., play with your Reef Rewards card to get in on the hot seat drawings. If your name is called, you could walk away with up to $5,000 in cold hard cash. Find more details online at silverreefcasino.com.
New Day Hot Topics is brought to you by Silver Reef Casino.
We're back with another round of Hot Topics. Gus is back from the kitchen to chat with us again. Jake Wittenberg is here, of course, and Alexis. Thank you all for sticking around.
Of course.
But you might be a little scared that you stuck around because, as promised, we're trying the latest in the pickle flavor trend. Please enjoy. This is a pickle smoothie. It's being served at a smoothie company found across parts of the southern U.S. called Smoothie King. Alexis recreated this for us so we can give it a shot because rumor has it, it doesn't taste as bad as you might think, according to people at least online. So we'll see what we think. Pickles are in it, bananas, kale, apple juice, kiwi juice, electrolyte blends, coconut water. Thoughts? And do we think that the pickle trend has just gone way too far, my friends?
I feel like I can taste every single thing that you just said.
Yeah.
Like I can taste the banana,
really
I can taste the pickle.
It's not that bad, though.
It's not that bad.
I like it.
I was gonna.
Yeah,
Gus is like chucking it right now.
I'm like, if you don't want yours, I'll have yours. Like, I'm good.
That'll perk you up a
I
little
love
bit.
a pickle, so I'm totally
Yeah, I like pickles too.
I like pickles as well. I guess the thing that kind of scared me is when you go in, it's really
Lot
like
of pickle.
pickle forward.
It's
But
a
it
little
is
salty.
good. I don't
but
hate it either.
I think the pickle
Yeah.
trend, though, is getting kind of crazy.
You think?
You know, it's kind
Too
of
much.
like spicy things, like ube. Like, it really just, it's gotten too much. Like, what's the next flavor going to be, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I think the salt really plays a factor. I mean, I kind of like, have you ever had pickle on a pizza? It's not bad. It's not bad,
Fried
actually.
pickles with ranch, all of it is delicious.
Yeah, those are good.
Maybe you should have had this smoothie to really pump you up, Jake, for your latest story that you
Oh,
did
my
with your
goodness.
co-anchor Mimi Jung. This is so amazing. You were a firefighter essentially for a day, right? So how did this go?
Well, the chief of the Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority is a big fan of King 5 Mornings, and he and his wife were watching one morning, and he said, you know what, I'm going to get Jake and Mimi out to the training. So they took us out to the facility at North Bend, which is where the firefighters, the actual heroes, go to train, and it is intense. Look, they made us our own jackets.
That's
and
what
our
I was
hats.
gonna
I mean,
say.
like, they really spared no expense
Is that
on
a
this
burning building?
experience. Yeah, so these are simulated fires, but it is real fire in these buildings. And they take us inside, fully masked, fully air-taped. We had to go through a training before the training. And guys, it is 800 degrees in this room.
No,
I
ma'am.
mean, you are wearing these bunker gear, and so it is very much protective, but you can still feel that heat through your jacket. I mean, it burns. You cook chicken at 500 degrees, right? And I'm in there at 800 degrees getting this experience.
I'm out.
It was. I mean,
Chicken.
they gave us a helmet, for our experience. Isn't that amazing?
that's really cool.
I mean, that is
it's so
so
heavy.
cool.
Like, I don't want to relax my neck or my neck's gonna snap. Like,
Yeah.
it's that heavy. But shout out to firefighters.
Seriously.
I have so much
Absolutely.
respect for them, and not seeing what they've gone through in those dark, burning buildings and all the ash, and you can't breathe. I mean,
It's so
much
scary,
reverence for
for
How
firefighters.
heavy is
sure.
that gear, too?
So heavy.
Yeah.
It's 50 pounds for the gear alone.
I know. I have to give a shout out to my boyfriend Wade, who is a firefighter, and my brother is a firefighter as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
there you
cousin.
go.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I'm a firefighter too.
Yeah, you, Jake.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe. I want to get to some other big news stories. The World Cup is coming up quickly.
Yes.
Seattle had expected an estimated 750,000 people to come here this summer for the games. Hotels are saying, though, that they don't think it's going to be as big of a boom as they expected. They're not as busy yet. Jake, have you heard anything?
So a lot of times, big events like FIFA with all these teams and countries, they'll block out rooms and book a bunch of rooms at once just in case to make sure everybody comes. And now that we're less than 60 days out, you're probably seeing a lot of cancellations and things like that. My guess is what we're hearing is that we're going to see a little peak back up again, getting closer to the games. But I think people are getting sticker shock too. It's $350 for one ticket. to go at the lowest level. So,
Oh yeah, I
or
was
highest
saying
level, I should say.
thousands,
Yeah.
thousands. Speaking of traveling too, Gus, I want to get to you. You have lots of content about being Greek. What's your take on tourists when they go to Greece? Because I want to go. We just talked about
We
it.
did talk about some of that. I mean, my hot take with Greek tourists is you don't have to go to Mykonos and Santorini. I mean, as like a Greek person, it's like slightly overrated. Not overrated, it's just so expensive compared to like, you can go to Crete and everything's like a fraction of the cost and you're like, what? What's going on here? And it's better. And Mykonos is like cute and all, but like, I don't want to deal with that many gay people. And I say that as a gay person. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding. And it's so fun and it's so great, but you can avoid those and go other places. And like the Ionian side is all green and super Italian and Venetian, and it's also awesome. So like Zakynthos, Kefalonia, go check out those places.
You give the best advice, and you are also a comedian, and so I must know because Kevin Hart, it just came out with his roast. Would you ever do a roast? Have you been roasted before?
I've been roasted. I'm terrible at roasts. I'm so much more of a storyteller that I'm terrible at roasts. Yeah,
Like
I can't
you can't
roast.
do like a
My
little
mom was
zinger?
great at roasting. I am not good at roasting.
Was it hard to be roasted though? I feel like you have to be so
No,
secure
in
with
fact,
yourself.
like when I get married, I want the rehearsal dinner to just be a roast of me.
That's so fun.
That's like genuinely what I want.
Actually, yeah.
And all my friends have told me, like, yeah, you want that, but you're not going to be able to take that.
See, I don't think I could take it. I'm pretty
No, we'll get two
sensitive.
jokes in and be like, I don't like this, never
I know.
mind.
Can we stop now?
How mean could your friends really be? Like,
They dig a little bit. I mean, dig stuff out of your past.
They know things.
you know everything.
Yeah, true. You guys,
so funny.
thank you so much. This was so much fun, and I could tell you like this. So
Yeah.
cheers, everyone. Keep
Cheers.
going.
To pickles.
pickles.
Yeah.
To pickles and hot topics. You can see more of Gus tonight at his comedy show when he headlines the Laughs Comedy Club tonight at 7 p.m. You can still grab tickets online. Thanks for spending time with us today. For more New Day fun, subscribe on YouTube and be sure to download King 5 Plus for free. Don't forget to enjoy your new day, and we'll see you next time.